Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back with Higurashi When They Cry. So, a whole lot of things happened last time, and before going to any of that, I gotta commend again how this is all written so unbelievably well. Like, the story keeps ratcheting up tension and tension with like just learning about the whole other incidents happening yearly, whether it's like a curse and like complete coincidence or literally just a whole village conspiracy, stuff like that. And literally, even though Rena like was like ranching up, like being like so like acting so psychotic, which even then is still a bit of weird reaction to have. She's like she and like the friend group are definitely exactly hiding something. It just seems like so strong of a reaction to do so. That or like she was really that so much angry of being alienated from like feeling of alienated from both the rest of the group and also from a newcomer as well who should have the exact same feeling that she has. She like was going so angry and just almost demonic, just like breaking into Keiichi and all that. It still feels like a weird extreme reaction to have about all of this, but like it can go both ways. Whether like the whole all the incidents that yearly happening is really just a coordinated village conspiracy, coincidence, or curse being demoned away, it feels it's all ambiguous that it can go any direction by now. That like, oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. No, but so much. But right now, I'm gearing more towards coincidence for the time being until we learn anything more. Because literally, various methods of death and all that, and the only thing that throws a wrench into that plan is just Tomataki like going insane and clawing on his own neck from a simple like attack, like a surrounding attack, unless there's something else going on with him. Like if he has any past history, just like looking more into that. But that's literally the only thing. We just need to learn whether like what his real name is in his past history. That's literally it. I'm gearing more towards coincidence than anything else, and just maybe that was just him being insane and like actually managed to like I guess like lie his way of like being sane and all that, which is not completely entirely unheard of. But like I'm curious to see how like Keiichi's gonna try to ask more about Satoshi in the group. Definitely not gonna ask the arena, especially since she was eavesdropping and everything. Hey, look, is it a nice normal day in the life of a middle school boy? Weariness and a headache. Oh, you didn't get any sleep last night because one of your quote unquote friends was just eavesdropping on you for a solid hour and you're talking shit about them. Not a very nice way to start the day. Oh, kitchen. What's wrong? Keiichi, you don't look so well. When did you go to sleep? It seemed that my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yeah, things are going to shit. And possibly because that police, like the chief police noticed that the cop is not going to be able to talk, like, openly to Keiichi with any more of the instance after that whole phone call now. Just from that being completely confidential. Oh boy. And I'm guessing later on there's probably going to be some detail where even we can't possibly entirely trust the detective now either for some reason or another. It just feels like how it's being written. Oh boy. Yesterday I'm waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep. Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered my courage and opened the door. Of course there wasn't anyone there. I think I did this 3 times through the night. Or maybe I just didn't remember doing any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease. It might be a cold. I don't really have an appetite. My, you do seem a little warm. Well, can you make it to school? Technically, I did go to a school. It was mostly self-study. It wouldn't matter much if I missed a day, would it? Oh, like literally the classes are completely just hey you do this, read this book. Okay, go do all that. Wow. It could have been that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days because I really did have a cold. If I took some medicine and got a good day of rest, might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Oh, and if you go missing today with the whole sickness thing, Rina's gonna make it feel like I'm oh, you really don't trust me then. Oh boy. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. Oh yeah, plus there's that whole thing of like the very beginning of Rina doing a daily ritual of waiting for Keiichi to walk together to school. I wonder how that's gonna go. It's probably her. It was 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Rina. It was Rina. Rina-chan came to get you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna take the day off? Rina was a good girl. We think, anyway. She might be somewhat quirky, but she was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious, and she always looked out for me. Why should I be scared of something like that? It wasn't Rina's fault. You know, technically it kind of is, because she's literally like literally just went up to you and threatened you. It's an overly extreme reaction to have. Like, even if, like, for just a general argument, like, I'm hiding something because I want to keep you safe, but, like, also being mad, like, it's like a normal, like, friendship fight. Just going up and threatening someone, like inches away from your face, that's not a normal reaction to have. That just sounds like someone has anger issues, or, really has something to hide. Which, the fact that Rena's only been in this town for, like, a year is kind of concerning. Whether something happened here when she was around, or something happened before she moved here. Which doesn't entirely make sense into this context. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. It just had to be. I'll rest. Sorry. I'm gonna go send her off for you. Mom headed off to the door. I would have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Rina, so I put myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived, I quickly fell into a deep slumber. Yeah, I was wondering if, like, you were gonna chance it going up past the door. Have fun with that. Rina sneaks in the house again. I had only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mom and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. You're home alone. Yay! Oh my god. It likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. They'll be back for dinner, but might be a bit late. You're gonna be alone for a couple hours. On the note, it said, "The insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." Oh my god. There's also a well-drawn map to the hospital. Oh, that's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it really was just leftovers from the morning, and just in case, went to the hospital. Time to have a walk down Mary Lane in the Hinamizawa village. And it was noon that everyone's at school, so we're not gonna counter them. Unless Arena decided to stay home from school, and if she did and we see her... No, that's even more worrying, actually. I would consider her a threat then, immediately. That's just too coincidental. Again, normally I'd never be here in the middle of a weekday. Just walking around like this had me feeling guilty. It was an odd feeling. Yeah, it's something like that where, like, you know, when you get sick, like, you should be doing this and all that, routine-wise and all that. I had that several times that I get sick. Like, remember just, like, getting completely bedridden and having to go, like, it was hard on my eyes a few times when I was, like, that sick, just, like, in my house. I had to, like, even though it was the middle of summer, which, god damn it, the timing, it could have been better. But, like, yeah. Oh, god, I had to go to the nurse's office and, like, the doctor's office in the town. Yeah, it was not fun. Yay, drinking orange juice and guzzling it down on the way back. Okay. Just stockpiling it. Found my mom's map and took a road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Hey, what's it called? Irie Clinic? Wowee! Was written rather stylishly in the sign. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. There was a parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. You must be making a mint. For such a small town. Oh no, that's adorable. Oh, I love this place already. Good crocodile. I spaced on the air-conditioned waiting room until it was left my turn to be seen. Maebara-san, please make your way to the examination room. After half-heartedly answering all the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold. Wow-wee, Jolly J. Willikers, thank you so much." They gave me a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. I thought I was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I've been having lately, then it was worth it. You really are trying to blame it all on the cold, I guess. I guess it makes sense. You want to go back to normal and all that. I completely understand that, though. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping, but I just had to. If it wasn't just for that word. It must have been the Oni Kakushi. I wonder. She was still pretty young. Might have just eloped. With whom? That man from Tokyo visits every season. It's not been reported. That young one with that big camera. Didn't you know they were getting along pretty well? Are they talking about Tomataki-san? I feel my ears perking up. I don't know about that, but you had to make preparation before you elope. Yeah. Leave a note or quit their job or something. It's an elopement because they didn't leave a note or message. The thought that I'll never see that young nurse's face again makes me rather sad. Takano-san is an upstanding young woman. She'll be fine wherever she goes. So her name was Takano-san? Mio Takano. That woman with Tomataki-san, Jiro Tomataki. You gotta say full names now. If everyone in the friend group keeps saying Keiichi Maebara, the Maebara Keiichi. And she worked at this clinic? Coincidental. Oyashiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. I started listening more closely. They began talking about fishing, and it didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left, and bumped into a doctor who was watching me eavesdropping this whole time. What are you doing, son? Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I wasn't able to escape from Oyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Oyashiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place. Of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Yeah, have fun living in complete anxiety and paranoia. One of these days, you're gonna go to your parents like, can we please move? Please? Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. I might as well buy a snack with a change for the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned into a familiar street. It's still noon, so I'm pretty sure school doesn't let out that early, so... At that moment, I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was it really walking so far into the middle of the road where I'd be in the car's way? I'm getting flashbacks to another scene. Don't do that ever now. Don't ever do that. I swear to God. Oh, don't ever do that. Oh my God. I moved farther to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved. Well, at least they slowed down, except for a certain other person. Maebara-san, good day to you. Oh boy. I swear to God, Rina. It was Oishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, winked at me. The AC goes across the entire land with how far up that's cranked up in the car. Hello. What's up today? School on break? Just not feeling well, so I took the day off. I was about to buy lunch and head back home. That's great. I'm just about to get lunch myself. Would you mind going together? If you're not feeling up to it, then don't mind me. I'm just gonna lie down after going home anyway. I didn't really have a cold. I expect you'd rather avoid using one of the local places. Let's go into town. It's a bit of a drive. Is that alright? I know a pretty good place. I finally began to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably want to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa, which is honestly a good tactic to have. It's great. I like his style. Fade to black. I guess that's why this interior shot was also made, because we're gonna be driving with him, even if it's maybe just this other time. I went with Oishi-san, riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie. What? What do you mean by that? Oh, like it's so cold it should be completely darkened and all that. The fog, the cool, coldly fog is fogging up everything in the inside. I'm sorry about calling you so late last night. Did your parents get angry at you? No. I recalled Rena, who'd been listening to the phone conversation all the time, separated from me by just the door. Yeah, it's another thing entirely if you're leaning against the door completely entirely. And oh yeah, I remember this detail just suddenly. Like yeah, it's a very small detail, but it keeps piling up for me, and I'm kind of keep getting reminded myself so I don't get blindsided by it later on. That literally when Mion didn't like had to go do chores at her family's store with her uncle, literally everyone kept like cited off reasons what they wanted to do. Like now that the club's like meeting is not doing the meeting that day. Rika was gonna go shopping, and Sadako actually like said like, "Oh, I completely forgotten about that." Like they were planning to do that together. So literally, they are that completely close anyway. Like they're that close. That's interesting, and that's also gonna be so goddamn sad later on. Just that detail. I recalled Rena, who'd just been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, the thought still creeped me out. The big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. My head swirled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This was where Tomataki-san died. I wonder if I could see where he's done. Where's the body lines? Yes. You had a snag in the investigation regarding Tomataki-san. Oishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of his eye. They believe it was caused by hallucinogens, given how he's clawing at his own throat. But didn't the toxicology report just said he was in mass hysteria and nothing else? Toxicology reports are literally just investigations of how the body's chemistry is at the time of death. And just from that report, unless they did a further-up one, it just... Huh. And why would he take hallucinogenics, like, when he's, like, leaving from a festival? Didn't seem like he would be a drug user, at the very least. No. He just seemed more just, well, as Milan kept putting it, like easygoing but unreliable, but not to that extent, not to an aggressive, like, drug taking extent, or just, God, pathetic extent, God. But a drug that could cause it to happen so suddenly is extremely hard to come by. Yeah, that's another thing of whether he was targeted. So like literally, yeah. But then why give him hallucinogens like to incapacitate him and so people can come along and like kidnap him? And if they want him dead anyway, then why not just poison him? It just feels like complete coincidentals, honestly. That are just, again, village conspiracy, go back and forth. Bear in mind, of course, well, you're a big bear yourself. Of course, Itachi was done with that premise in mind, but we didn't find any leads. You know that thing you see in comics all the time? Where there's a drug that doesn't leave any trace that they're being consumed? My god, I have the exact same thought, like, last episode. God, fuck, this is good. It exists. Succinylol, something or other. Succinylcol or something other. Well, it's pretty common. But you see, there doesn't seem to be any kind of drug that would cause Tomataki-san to react like that. Yeah, that was completely just outside of my little field of expertise of drugs and poison hallucinogens. I don't research that. I just don't. Okay, I'm saying this right now. Then you're saying the police concluded Tomataki-san just died from the curse? I couldn't help but feel the police were worthless. It's more like, how exactly how else would you think about it this way, honestly? I don't quite blame them. But it's like, almost like a weird, strange circumstance. Almost like, like, sure, this would happen, but, we can't think of another way to prove it. And if, like, they did, like, everything in their power to find tests, and, like, try to find out whether it was anything else that's happening, and a complete, like, drugs is completely off the table, and insanity is, like... They looked into, like, him, what his real name is, Jiro Tomataki, what his real name is from that, and there's a history of, like, past, like, maybe he was put in an asylum, or, like, acting up in school, or, like, had some mental issues and all that, then maybe it can work. but from what we know now, he's a completely sound of mind person, so it does not make much sense. It just feels all... Both everything seems so coincidentally on the year, but everything is so wildly different and too coincidental. I just wanted the idea of a curse be disassociated from Tootaki-san's mysterious death. Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now. Literally, as long as that him clawing out his own throat deal from insanity comes into play, it feels so weird. Along with people attacking him purposely. That combination of factors is what's the biggest thing that's just, that's hard to conclude. Putting aside this cause of death, without a doubt, he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. That was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involved other humans. That made me a bit relieved. Literally up until, like he's, like, stated, like, complete outright of, like, what the tipsware menus were showing off, like, at the office. He's telling it all to Keiichi. That's, it's, like, 1-for-1 right now. Now, this is, like, the next day, and that whole, like, conclusive, unless, like, well, residents and all that, like, maybe he's given an order, is, like, he's just allowing, just, like, to talk to Keiichi about, about, like, specifics of the case, just because, like, he's, like, just a compromise and all that, like, doesn't consider him as a resident. I'm losing my train of thought, like, there, like, he's just, like, he's going against, I guess, the confidentiality orders, just to talk to him more and actually figure out more. Like a double agent sort of thing. Yeah. Whether he's doing this, like, against with orders or, like, not, but, like, that whole police chief notice was, generally speaking, like, to make all those, like, details of the crimes and the past incidents classified to the general public. I guess there's that. Yeah, figure as I go along, though. I'm just gonna be rambling a lot. I'm having fun, though. We passed in front of the rather desolate, okay, sorry about that wire thing, but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. The car pulled into a restaurant in a parking lot, and I followed Oichi-san into the shop. What kind of restaurant is it? Ooh, sweet. It was pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course there wouldn't be children here in the middle of a weekday. 2, please. I'll make do with non-smoking. You make do? This way, please. When you are ready to order, please call me over. We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oishi-san in the booth. So what do you think? Aren't the waitress's outfits here cute? Oh god, that's what you're going for. Okay. Huh? Well, I guess? The shop is always quite busy. It's more about the waitresses and the food, you see. Okay. Okay, that's why you brought... You just come in here just for that and not for food? Okay. Oichi-san, you're leering. If you're gonna do that, at least go for, like, something that's both like that with good food. If you're gonna do that, please. Am I really? There's 2 cups on the table. He's pretty thirsty himself, so... God damn it. Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. If it's decent, then sure, fine. Also, ice water. What is that cup left there for? That slanted thing. God, I don't know how to feel about that. That looks so bad. Why would you want to drink out of a cup like that? Why? Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic, Oishi-san's after-meal cup of coffee ran to the table. Yesterday we talked about Hinamizawa's past, didn't we? Oh, you're not. Oh, also, yeah, Keiichi, are you gonna bring up like the thing of Rina actually listening into the phone conversation yesterday? Yeah, that was it was the village of man-eating demons or something like that. Man-eating demons? They didn't say anything about the demons eating man, but just whisking away. That was all it is. I didn't know much about it myself, so I asked my mother about it this morning. Oichi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket. Turns out that Hinamizawa used to be called Onigafuchi, the Demon's Abyss. It's actually a very sweet name. Onigafuchi. That's quite the name. That's actually a very sick name, honestly. The name is still around. The swamp where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Onigafuchi. The swamp's been left behind like that. I also like thinking a bit more about this, the guardrail incident. It also could be like another dual thing of like, if they want a vacation to a different prefecture, if if we're going with the whole village conspiracy thing, people could just follow them and like either like push them over the railing and to kill them, and like one went missing from it, or like literally they forced them to drown, or and they messed up the guardrails to like make it look like they leaned against the guardrail and fell in. That could be one avenue to look at it. Just put that idea out there too. The name is still around. The swamp where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Onigafuchi. It's said that the depths of that swamp connect to the realm of demons. Of course, nobody had told me anything about such an ominous swamp. And you see, it appears they were both feared and revered. Oh, I'll say. Respect born of fear. Yeah, that's commonplace. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. I guess you could say it was a kind of deification. Yeah, I think that's a more apt way to look at it. A village of inhuman creatures. Demon Club. Let's go. I love this music, though. God, the atmosphere is great. Seems the demons were Senin, or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. Villagers with incurable illnesses would be taken to Onigafuchi to be healed, for example. Even if we're calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or Senin would be a more apt description. Yeah, like, I keep seeing that, like, learning more about, like, in like, Japanese folklore or stuff like that, of, like, things that would be considered complete monsters or demons, but, like, sometimes they're just pretty much just. Some of them are complete, like, harmless tricksters. Others are completely just diabolical tricksters, and some are complete, absolute psychopaths. And some of them are just like, oh yeah, they're just there. Hi. That's what it feels like. It's a mixed bag. They don't seem like such terrible people, even though they were called demons. But they were still man-eating demons. We the bad ones. According to the story my mother told me, as payment for treating the son's illness, let us eat the mother who brought him here, was apparently how things went. The price of curing her son was herself? That's unsettling. Of course, the mother took her son and ran. Then you see, all the villagers of Onigafuchi, the demons, chased, surrounded, and captured them. The entire village, apparently. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. Oh god, you're making it sound like if, like, one person who's been chosen by oh my god, by the curse, then, like, literally a whole town is gonna get punished for it. Oh god. You're putting more emphasis on the village conspiracy part now. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. Ooh, new scene. Oh god, I love the art style. God, I love it so much. Wait, this restaurant's called Angel Mort? Huh. Interesting name. They're calling it the angel demon thing again. Theming. In the end, it seems both the mother and son were caught and eaten. The end. Wow, what a lovely story. Grimm's Fairy Tales lover. Thank you there, Oshi. Thank you there. Thank you. I won't have nightmares. There's a problem with the story. Both witnesses in the story were eaten, so nobody would be able to tell the tale. Huh? There are plenty of old fables like this. Yeah, it's just folklore. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oshi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. But, well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onigafuchi band together to capture their prey. Recall that Mion said all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part about unification overlapped. Oh, I called it unification theming. Deeming unification. Normal people unification. Quote unquote normal people. They'd always hunt down a single person, and they'd choose who it was going to be beforehand. Huh? That caught my attention. Oshi-san has also appeared to be pondering what it meant. My mother told me that you must never interfere with a demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said. Wait, okay, so you're going with that whole thing, dealing with that more. That just paints, like, the first again, like, thinking about that way, it makes almost every single, I guess, missing persons, like, makes sense. Again, except for the very first one, dismemberment incident of him, a killer, and then going missing. Like, that just seems more like whether something bad happened to them, or they literally just fled and no one has found them since. He's just on the lam still. Yeah. So what does this all mean? It means you mustn't ever help or protect the prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the villagers. It seems there's that kind of rule. Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in other words. What happens if you break the rule? Well, they're man-eating demons after all. Oh nice, put some veal and some salt on there. Many parts of the tale caught my attention. Parts of the story told me overlapped with his theory that the entire village was in on the crime. I guess they can also go on with, I guess, coincide a tiny bit with the fact of Rena being more of like inside, like being in, like actually being accepted to the village type deal, and that's why her reaction to it is like to Keiichi is like very overblown and dramatic and really aggressive. There could be that, but also, yeah, it's literally both ways. Even if there wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die when there's a group that was on their hunt, wasn't it? I didn't dare speak it. Then, Oishi-san, I guess it looks like it's either the entire village or a group of villagers perpetuating the crimes? What do you think, Maebara-san? Excuse me. Another cup of coffee, please. That's what I want to know. You seem that we were both waiting for the other to say that last part. Another game. Have fun with that. I honestly don't know how to think still. It would be honestly really cool if it was more supernatural, I guess, elements. I actually want to see something like that more. But also, maybe it's probably just more likely just completely both a combination of complete coincidental of like accidents and incidents happening all at once, or it's a complete, I keep going back and forth, just the whole village conspiracy thing again. Nothing points one way or another. He waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Last year, I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared. Okay, for going on that thing, there was also the feeling that maybe if Rena like did not want to talk about Satoshi at all, and if like everyone in the group did not want to talk about it, did they just purposely run away from town? And like because they were close friends, they decided to not talk about it at all to anyone, like under that sworn oath. Especially since Rena also saw some random person talk to Keiichi in their car, and it was a complete stranger, then yeah. Oishi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around his coffee. So those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Maebara-san, I had a bit, really just a bit, okay? I had a bit of background checking done on them. If Oichi-san had said this to me before, I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question. But as I was now, I couldn't... This might sound pretty stupid. Maebara-san, if you feel that's stupid, please say so. We're gonna learn more about our friends and how terrible they are. I'll just stop. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This is probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. Please. That was all I could utter. Oichi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began. The victim of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Tsurozaki-san. Multiple altercations. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the damn product vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up. The second year, the married couple who supported the product died in an accident, right? Their daughter was with him at the time. Her name is Satoko Hojo-san. Oh, okay. Sadako. Literally, you're saying everyone who died has a connection to each and every one of them. Huh? Sadako, meaning Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. Okay, that was another thing. I was slowly learning everyone's full entire names. So, Sadako, wait, did you say that right? Did you actually, wait, oh my god. Okay, why didn't I make that fucking connection already? Oh my, I feel even more bad for Sadako. Oh god. Oh my god. I always have, like, this, like, I have a more affinity of just, like, of getting more interested in having more fun with more troubled characters. Oh my god, it's going again. Okay, Sadako, God protector. Oh my god. Both her parents are gone, and oh, and I just realized, like, that weird phrasing. The victim's family's son. So both, like, Sadako, both her brother, like, wait, recent transfer student. So, like, Sadako is also a transfer student then, unless she lived in this town beforehand. Like, don't know the family, like, the dad, like, I can't like, Honjo's name, and also, like, another brother, like, like, married and had a kid at the same time, like, a year before. God. Oh, God, a cousin or something. God, like, 3 of her family members are just gone. Whether brother or cousin or whatever. God. Oishi-san's look told me that my voice is too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. The Shinto priest and his wife who died in the 3rd year. You see? Their daughter is Rika Furude-san. I called it. Okay. I called that was her last name. Oh god, that's another. Oh, that's the big reason why everyone is completely silent about it. It's all connecting to them. That's the reason why Rina and Rina did not want to talk about it at all. That's the reason why almost everyone silently agreed not to bring up the curse. It would bring up so much baggage for everyone. Then where does that go to Rina then? Like, is the reason why that her reaction was so extreme just because of that? Because, like, she actually trusts every single one of them, and now that it feels like Keiichi is trying to push away from everyone else, that's why she's going completely against him now? God, I completely see that now. What? God, I'm going back and forth again. God damn it. The Shinto priest and his wife who died in the 3rd year. You see, their daughter is Rika Furude-san. Rika-chan was the housewife who died in the 4th year, you know already, don't you? It was a step-aunt of Sadako Honjo-san. Okay, aunt, uncle. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody, as she lost both her parents in the accident. She lived in the victim's house, and okay, so definitely was a cousin then. Okay. I can tell my lips are getting dry. So literally, Sadako only has her uncle now. Oh god. I can tell my lips are getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I had thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one I could easily distance myself from. Yeah, now that you know all this is going to be another thing of, like, trying to broach a topic with your friend group now, where you learn something without their permission, consent, stuff like that. That's another thing of, like, there's some things that people don't want you to know because it can feel dangerous. In some cases, very dangerous how some people are goddamn stupid, and, like, yeah, sometimes just giving out information is dangerous. That's probably why, like, I'm stuck on the whole idea of information hazards when I first heard the term. God. But clicking and clacking, it sunk all the way to my feet. The one who disappeared the 4th year, by the way, He was Sadako's older brother. Oh. Oh. What? Wait just a second. That just makes it worse. God. It took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. What is Reina's thing then? There was those three. Is there something connecting Reina with Mio actually? Mio Takano? Or something else entirely? Or she's the oddball out. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. But Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. Lots of things I shouldn't have heard. All the victims seem to be connected to your group of friends. It has to be just a coincidence. Maebara-san, keep it down. Everyone's looking. Mion? Sadako? Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? Couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Oh, Reina's different, isn't she? Reina's connected with the victims at all. Wait. Oh. Reina Ryugu-san was living in a suburb of Ibaraka Prefecture until last year. Well, it's true she hasn't directly met any of the victims. He said in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. You know, I'm actually not surprised by that based on how she reacted. It seems she went through a school building and broke all the windows. Ah, yes, an aggressive streak, okay. Reina did that? Nope, yep, it makes sense. She broke all the windows at her school? That same spacey Reina had. She's probably either like trying to grow up from it or literally she's trying to hide it from people. If I'm gonna be completely more optimistic, she's trying to grow out of it. But you trying to like accuse her of lying while also like lying, like, you know, hiding something from her in turn, probably just made her angry she's come back out. I couldn't even imagine it. It seems that, after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and was diagnosed with dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. Dysautonomia. Dysautonomia. Okay, I want to look that up. Dysautonomia syndrome. Dysautonomia is a disorder of automatic nervous system function. The aim is a chart of involuntary functions, things that happen without thinking, like breathing. Usually involves failure of the sympathetic and parasympathetic parts of the ANS. Huh? Symptoms: abnormally fast or slow heart rate, anxiety, excessive sweating, fatigue, feeling short of breath, feeling thirsty at the time, having trouble in swallowing, headaches. What housing habit? Blood pressure is another one. It probably does go to mood swings, maybe. I'll just go with like just aggressive though. I wonder if it was something like a nervous breakdown, possibly from the sounds of it. I heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. I can actually kind of back that up a tiny bit. Oh boy. Neither of those match Reina's easygoing personality, or that's really just the port she wants to put on. Sensitivity. Oh god. Oh boy. Oh, god. In the counselor's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Rina-san. It shows up. Oh, don't go into DID, please don't. And quite a bit at that. It. What did? I pressed forward carelessly. It couldn't be anything more for me to regret. She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. I felt like someone's stone-cold hand was crossing my back. It appeared. Wait, Oyashiro-sama kept appearing in her past before moving? Why had Rina spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? Seems that Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost, appearing in her house every night. How did you learn her name from there? Sitting over her pillow, looking down at her. My mind froze. And like that's another thing. If like these like are becoming more global incident, it's like a combination of mental illness. Like she could have just heard the name of the Oshishiro-sama's curse and equated it to like a nightmare she'd been having, or just like a sleep paralysis demon or something like that. Like some monster that you just wake up paralyzed in your bed. It could just be that too. I couldn't process what I was being told. Well, after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. Oh, that's right. She's not an outsider. Wait, she's not? Wait, what? Huh? According to the residency register, Ryugu family used to reside in Hinamizawa. Oh, okay. So was she born outside the town and decided the family generation go, yeah, let's go back to her roots. They moved to Ibaraki just as Rina-san entered elementary school. Oh, my mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd seen on blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Maebara-san, are you alright? Shall we stop? Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I know about Rina. Are you actually going to speak about it now? Then, how about the last victim, Tomitake-san? Who is he connected with? Irritated, I let out one final reprisal. All of them. Yeah, actually. Have you forgotten Maebara-san? Didn't you all spend the night of the festival together quite merrily? Quite a few of the officers saw you enjoying yourselves. Now there's nothing I can respond with. Yeah! Yay! I fell silent as my brain turned to mush. We should get going. Ah, Maebara-san, did you take your afternoon medicine? I completely forgot about medicine. I had gone today until Oshi-san had said that. I got another glass of water, and we left the shop after I chugged it down. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but do cars normally shake this much? It was almost as the road was desperately trying to tell me something. Don't think about it too much, but I'm like, you're going more in paranoid, so don't worry about that. It's literally just dirt road. I literally had to drive on, just like experience it both driving and being a passenger in it. It's kind of a bit common. But dump. That big jaw was no difference in elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. As soon as I heard Tomitake-san scream, I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I'll drop you off by your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct? My apologies for the long conversation. Why did you talk to me? I blurted out the question. Really, just blurted out. Why did you come talk to me? I didn't expect an answer. Well, I did check with you first, didn't I? We should just stop. Not that. Why did you reach out to me? I understood quite well that Oshi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents. But why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing and I couldn't help. Everything Oshi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? That's actually a good question. By chance, if there was a reason for Oshi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be a warning. That was part of me on Circle of Friends who looked suspicious to Oshi-san. I'm retiring this year. I plan on moving away after retiring as my mother wants. The fact that you're bringing up retirement is now you're getting death flags. So while I'm still in the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light. So, Oishi-san, you suspect them, don't you? All of them. He really didn't give a bit of response. I felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. This is mostly my intuition from 30 years in this job. Maebara-san, you're the one in danger. Huh? I wanted to reply with, that's absurd, but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Wantaganashi next year, so I want to settle things. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Wantanagashi, I might be the victim. I have been warned by the chief as well. Each instance in the string of cases has been solved, so bring it up again, or so I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing. Pressure from what? Someone in Hinamizawa. We've arrived. Is this fine? Oh, so someone in Hinamizawa is pressuring the police department now. Yay! 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 After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. The tripping of the Higurashi hurt my ears. I won't mind if you just forgot everything I told you today, but I'm still gonna keep investigating. I learned Oyashiro-sama's curse this year. So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens? It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, Maebara-san. I wasn't collected enough to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it. Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all this at you while you're taking the day off because you're sick. Now let the sickly, addled brain nightmares, fever dreams roll around your head while all this goes down. All your connections to this new place and your place of living, now it's all shattered. Or it is given now more depressing light. I didn't really give any sort of response. I'll always be on your side. If anything, believe that. I'll be off now. Bye. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. It felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me it was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something had happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. And now with just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Or was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it, I don't want to die. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. Yay.